Absolutely.
Let's
Absolutely.
check in. Like, do you reckon we check in with production? See if we're ready for picks and bans for this first game?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Production, are we ready to get into the picks and bans phase? Find out what these teams are going to be shutting out of the picture. It will be a good time to know. Curious to see if the teams are ready to roll. It's going to be a good one.
I believe they're lining up now. We do have Frankstir's Haters versus Madhouse while production's getting set up there. So a few players that we've that are very interesting. If we look at Frankstir's Haters, we've got Salvatore OCE, Fleck, Oink, AJ, Tristan, and Liam. Those are some. There's a few tournament managers in there. Like, so a few staff members that have decided that they're joining in and playing. But I think we're ready to get into picks and bans, Liger, for this first game. Really getting around those tight corners where things start to get just impossible for certain characters to push forward and for certain characters to be dealt with.
Definitely. Pushing forward, huh? You know what I want to see? I want to see Human Torch. I want to see Human Torch. I think Human Torch might be a good shout. I think it's time. I think they've had a couple weeks to train with the release of the thing and Human Torch. Let's get fantastic. Well, first off, we already are here catching up to the action. Captain America has been banned. Right, banned out of here.
Banned. Ooh. Let me tell you what's going on right here, Liger. That is directed straight at Salvatore OCE. He's one of our tournament managers. He is the greatest Captain America. I'll call it right now. He's the greatest Captain America player in all of OCE. Banned away from him. Spider-Man on the other side, and an immediate protect as well for this Winter Soldier. I'm expecting a banger of a set already, Liger.
I am too. Okay, bit of strong decisions here protecting Hela. Get them that range. Maybe we might see a bit of Hela action. I do like the hover on Adam Warlock. I think a big mass res, bring your team back could change the pace of the game. So interesting to see. Of course, protecting Bucky, like you said, that's what we want. Bucky puts on a show. It's beautiful.
Look, very reminiscent of what we saw towards the end of Season 0 here, with this Loki band out as well. Seeing this Star-Lord, Adam Warlock, I wouldn't be surprised to... Mantis isn't too strong at the moment, but the Mantis is strong in this combination, and she is locked in as well. So having, Liger, that team-up combination to be able to consistently self-res for the Star-Lord, the Adam Warlock, and the Mantis essentially means that you're giving your team not only the additional lives with the Star-Lord ultimate, with the Adam Warlock ultimate, but additional lives just regardless anyway for themselves. Why don't we find out what our casters think though, Liger?
Let's find out as we kick it off to the casters getting into the action. I'm just ready for the thing. Let's go, Salvatore.
Nixel and Jay Beto, take it away.
They'll be coming in 30 seconds. Stay strong.
And I'm joined here with Jay Beto. How are we feeling, man?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling a bit questionable about this rocket, but it is on defense as well as this Venom. So potentially, some benefit there, getting able to swing back on the Venom or the revive on the rocket. But yeah, the question marks for me, big on the Venom. On the other side, pretty standard comp overall. We've got that revive with the Star-Lord, Adam, Mantis, the Luna for the more healing, and then we've got the Strange plus the Thing, very similar to the Hulk in the playstyle that Thing is. Venom looking aggressive on the wall, but just scouting, marking this side with the magic, trading blows so far, Nico.
Frankstir's on the offense, pushing up quite far here. Getting caught out is this magic. Exile down. Bubble was good though. And getting out safely, she will be doing as the offense continues here on the payload. Pushing it out. The Thing is just causing that stir there as we're pushing it up.
I feel like myself again.
As we continue to go, we're seeing KOs break down from either side. Good res just onto themselves just to keep themselves in this fight. They want to continue it out. Trades on either side. It's a 5v5 here onto this point. Hawkeye wanting to look at a pick for his team in the back line as the tanks are just running it down into the back line. Luna looking low, and Luna will be falling here. Vox down, and no ultimate ability to charge up here at all, but we do have ults to work with. There's two more people traded either side. Ego is down, but not before getting a pick onto the Hawkeye, and res he will be having. as he pushes onto point. Good stick here. Oink is just pushing back the entire team. It's just a tank fiesta here, as they're able to push up quite easily all by themselves.
Ooh, the disengage is nice. What was he doing up there in that corner? More accurate spider, this Venom. Oink still pushing out, finding the rocket as well. Trying to find some more staggers next door. Breaking this high ground off. A very strong position to hold. They're not going to let them have it this strange. Once active, he wants to use his ult, and that's ready.
I am ready to put on a show.
This is what you can do against these triple DPS teams here. Just run it down onto the side. We've got ults hopping all around here. Legendary and the Lunar Snow on both sides. We've got the Strange ult as well just to keep it going. 2 KOs there from the side of Madhouse, continuing it out. They're getting the defense finally that they're able to onto this point. There'll be no more aggression as they're stopped here in their feet.
Good hold, a good defense. Spin that Strange ult. Magneto ult still available. On the other side, no support ults other than this Adam. That can go big, Nuxel, but it's not the burst healing this Luna can offer. Fight starting, things looking to get aggressive.
They've got offensive ults, and there's the first one there with clobbering time into the back. They'll be taking down those first 2 KOs and getting the tempo that they need to keep pushing forward. Res is happening from that rocket, but it just doesn't quite matter as we're just continuing on to push forward. Madhouse has nothing more to play with here, no more people, as they're just standing around. Frozen Venom is just not enough to get this working, and they'll continue to push up this cart with that traded picks.
Keeping this push going into, you are correct. Adam ult still available with this Star-Lord now. No support ults on the side of this Luna kit. But a portal in to start the fight early. Can they find what they need?
Madhouse need this. They want to stop this here in their tracks because they have 3 minutes and 9 seconds on the board. Good freeze onto the back line, but Meteor M will be picking up the first one onto Ego. There'll be no flying around, but the point is taken. The fight doesn't matter anymore. You can go down because the spawn point's right there. Traded kills all around. It just doesn't quite matter though, because we have the point, we have what we came for, and we're just going to continue to do that.
Being just executing Luna alongside this Star-Lord, still trying to push out onto this rocket. The knockup is good, the damage is also there. The Star-Lord Thing combo, the CC, the damage coming through from both of them. And ults across the board. Both teams right now, Nuxel, but 4 minutes on the clock, a lot of time to burn. You can bait out these ults very easily, the Luna ult, the rocket ult, etc. The magic bit harder. The pick on the Ego might score the engage.
That's the res coming up. Born again, just if there's any KOs to happen. Looks like Ego will be the first to fall, but res is he. Winter Soldier will be picking up one with their ult, pushing back the offensive side. It's finally Mad that are able to get some more aggression for the second time in this game, but have so much time to work with Jay Beto. 3 minutes and 20 seconds on the clock, and they had to use so many ults.
Just what I was talking about, these ults easy to bait out, and now the Strange can get active, the Thing can get active with their double tank ult. Looks like they're trying to do that.
Continuing out here on the point, fate of both worlds having to be popped just to get this aggression back into their hands. Mantis is picking up 2 for themselves. Res it again. That's just not quite it, is it? Halfway through pushing this cart, Madhouse are looking both sides of their own point. It just doesn't matter as Ego is going aggressive into the back line, and they're just pushed it back into their spawn. It just doesn't quite matter for themselves. Salvatore will be getting that. Comedian's getting the trade onto Oink though. Continuing it out here, Brawl onto the cart, and we have Suka ult down on the point. That's damage for their team. Tristan is taking down Archimedes, and that's a big pick for them. But Lachlan will be getting that trade onto the Mantis there as we continue it out. Push back here. It's so contested on either side constantly. It just doesn't. It's not a consistent game here right at the end on this last point, but still 2 minutes 10 seconds to work with.
You're right, Nuxel, but look at the defending ultimates. All the cards have been played, the tools are down, no ultimates available on the attacking side. We're building up, we're getting close. This is a good time to push, regroup, get these ults, and start playing.
Clobbering time up and around. We have the res to work with here for the offensive Adam Warlock, but it looks like it just doesn't quite matter as they're getting those first 2 KO. Mantis as well. And Oink is just going big on their team. That's 4 KOs on that defense.
Enemies are here.
And they're just continuing to push this up. This is the hard chokehold, and Venom's in the back. Good freeze. Just denying any more aggression onto their Lunar Snow. There's a good backline here for Offensive Legendary. Out and around, looking for KOs, and they'll be getting it all. It'll be the Rocket Raccoon falling, pushing forward. Fate of Both Worlds has to get popped just for any more defensive time here on the point. They need to bait this out, try get into overtime, because it looks like the offensive want to push this all the way. They have from the start, and they've kept their tempo. Armed and dangerous all around, and an Eye Agamotto as well. Just, it's constantly ego, it's constantly clobbering time all around. The thing wants it. Rezzes just to keep their team alive. 2 meters left on the board, wanting to push forward here. It's a brawl on the point, but the KOs are in favor constantly over the offensive side. I haven't seen a single blue KO in quite a while here on the point, pushing back into their spawn, inching forward this cart. They're trying to get the touches. It's just not quite happening as they keep falling down. Venom, it doesn't matter. That's round 1 as we switch sides.
Time to switch things
Hold
up,
was good.
including which
Time
side
was
you're on.
spent, which is a positive after that opening push. But in the end,
You'll
it
need
is
a
a completion
top-notch
with
team
time
to
in the
win this
bank,
one.
Nuxel. What is the plan on the attack this time? We're going to stick with the Venom. Are we going to stick with the Rocket? I wasn't too convinced by either of those picks. The triple support on the other side was just... Sorry, the double support was just too strong. I feel like the double support ult, like the healing auras, my bad. That's what I'm meaning to say. The Luna plus the Mantis with the healing, obviously had the Atom at the start as well. When you're running Luna and a Rocket, you really only have one support ult. I mean, Rocket ult it's okay, but it's really not what you want in terms of proper healing, proper support. And I mean, it does really hurt to say that because I think Rocket ult is really cool. But unfortunately, when Luna ult's in the game, when these support ults are in the game, when they can just continuously heal your team and keep them alive and basically give you like a full fight's worth of immortality, that's what's strong. And if you're not running that, it's very, very difficult. Right now, I can meaties on the Scarlet Witch, pair up with this Magneto for the team up. I'm not convinced on that either, but I'm willing to be a believer. I just have to see. I need to be shown.
4, 3, 2,
Shown indeed as we're pushing out now onto the cart.
help
Tell
get
me,
that vehicle to its destination.
what are they looking for here? What do the offense need other than, you know, maybe those bit of switches up? They're being forced back onto that double tank. The solo tank just wasn't working as they got steamrolled. What are they looking for here?
This day we prove our
Magic to be diving with this Venom, absolutely finding these flank angles, walking down the choke of a hell, the Magneto as well. Not going to be what you want to do. Very dangerous, but the Rocket plus the Winter Soldier is a good combo. Dive needs to be good for this to work.
Dive is the name of the game here, as we still have that Venom in the game. Good shield just on the back selves alive, but it's a Magic here in the backline, but it's Wolverine that's getting the Venom down to start this off. The defense is the one that is holding true so far, and the thing is just so much space for their team as they push forward.
Wolverine is a scary threat on this Venom. If you are the Venom, trying to go in aggressive onto this Magneto, the damage is good and he will fall. Passive prop neutral. That's a free pick. There
you go with
actually, thing falls down.
Headshots and Armed and Dangerous coming down. Ego able to get that trade here onto the point. He's just pulsing themselves all around. Reset will happen though, and that's Ego falling. That's the Wolverine fall, and 2 more as well. This is what the offense need just to keep it going here. Capture this point.
again.
Halfway, as the announcer has said, 1 more again into the wall for good measure, breaking the high ground. A recontest Nuxel potentially in the cards here.
Almost there.
Luna ult is available, Magnetic ult, and the Thing closely behind. Hell ult as well in the cards. Damage is good, but we need to find an active pick. That's Rocket down first.
Ego is able to get that first pick. Salvatore with the second as Ego continues to stay in the ult here and picks up Archimedes. This is the stopped aggression that they just so didn't need here. They keep this going because the time is ticking down constantly. And KOs and KOs and KOs from this defense is just horrendous.
Magneto ult and the Thing still have their ult available. Venom the same and some support ult to go with that. But is that enough, Nukes, to break this defense? Minute and a half on the clock. How do you get in? The Venom, I'm still not convinced. A hook in might be what they need.
Is what is going on here. Venom wanting to dance around here onto the back line. Can they get anything at all as Magic is ulting as well? Seeing the Exalted as they're able to pick up one onto that Magneto straight into the back there, onto the Sue Storm, continuing it out here onto the point. This is good with the ultimate abilities from the offensive. They want to keep this going here on the point. Sue Storm ult will try to deny that, and Fate of Both Worlds as well for the attack as well. Ahu going big. It still looks so awkward for them to push this.
Azul might be falling down to Magic, but the heal from herself, self-hit is good. Magneto still has his ultimate. It's like Thing is getting active as well. That's a pick onto the strain, but they need more nukes.
More indeed. Continuing this out on them. Dangerous into the back. Here we go. Can we get anything at all? Yes, we can. Continuing it out, but shut down from Salvatore. The defense is just so strong from this team.
Thing trying to recontest onto the rocket. 19 seconds on the clock left. Hell up into the air, doesn't have ult available. That's a pick onto the Magic. Rocket's gonna be falling down as well. No, he's available. He's out. He's too slippery. Portal back might be what they need.
I'm ready to put on a show. Deep freeze.
Portal back on the point here, wanting to get as much as they possibly can here with the Fate of Both Worlds keeping their team alive. They're able to get anything. It's so close to just getting this point, but no time to work with. Salvatore, though, is going huge here into this back. Child here as well from the offense just to counter this out. Can we get anything as well? The brawl is continuing here in overtime. Trip is able to pick up the Rocket Raccoon, though. It's just not looking good here for the offense. Warming back from spawn, the overtime ticks down, and it looks like they can't get the contest even anymore as we're getting the red side win here on map 1 of tonight. It still is a best of 3 though, keep in mind, so another chance here for the other team.
Yeah, Frankstir taking away that first map. Scarred path falling away to them. A great performance from the tanks. Salvatore, the man himself. Big plays from the tank side, and I think that that's what you need to target at this next game. We're going to be going to the Clintar Symbiotic Surface map, one of my favorite maps, due to the fact of how brutal it is. Very hard to push all the way. The opening choke is difficult to break as well. But Nuxel, I am excited. I'm ready to go to this next one. I think I need to see a pivot away from the Venom. Nothing against the player, but I just think Venom is nothing compared to Magneto. I think he is completely useless when Magneto is in the game. Magneto just he removes all play of what Venom wants to do. Dive, you're bubbled. You dive in, you're right-clicked away. You're trying to engage on the backline, there's bubbled. You engage on the backline and Magneto has no bubble or no right-click. Well, he has ult now and he's one-shot your entire backline and you can't do any damage. He is just nowhere near as strong as Magneto, and the Thing as well. The pair together, so much stronger. The CC is good. I think that, yeah, to win this next one, I think I like seeing the spicy pick, but I want to see that left in the pocket, maybe another game, maybe some more cooking needs to be done, and back to some stronger picks.
All right, Jay Beto. Well, I'd love to hear what our desk thinks as they take us into this next game as well. So, Liger and Diceheart, why don't we chuck it over to you?
Wow, Liger, wow. You sure? You definitely called it, Liger?
Did I not call it? Did I not call it? My mic's back now. Did I not call it? that Salvatore on the Thing, 38 eliminations. Oh, Beautiful. Thank you. That's all I wanted.
Perfection. Frankster Haters,
Absolutely.
they've really shown what it means to have tournament managers. Like, it's too strong. They organize the tournaments, then they come in and they absolutely roll through them. 3-0 is dominant performance. I'd be expecting these guys to make it pretty far, Liger.
My days. Actually, yes, 100%. I will say, though, you can't sleep on ego on the Hela. Backing it up. Big aim. That was definitely a good protection pick they made. 100%. That paid out dividends. It was really good on their part. Really good strong counter picking there.
Look, really intelligent gameplay still. And I think, like we were talking about at the start when we were leading up into that match, Liger, Yggdrasil is a very sort of on and off map. You are either going to absolutely dominate on it, or you might have a really close game if you're very strong. But if you know how to play Yggdrasil, you know how to position, and you're very strong on characters like the Doctor Strange, and you're able to take advantage of that height and the placement of certain geography, it is very easy to, like that, push through the points and claim checkpoints. So well done there to Frankstir Haters. Very exciting to see what they're made of. We haven't had a chance to see them just yet, Liger, in the tournament. So it's been exciting to be able to bring them out and have some of our own staff prove what they're worth, Liger.
Okay. There you go. Hometown team. Do they have an advantage? Maybe. Nah, I'm kidding. Not at all. At the end of the day, the game's the game. All right. We saw it on the battlefield how it worked out. However, Archimedes, not going to sleep on. There was a bit of something there. There was a bit of a spark there on the Wind Soldier. Maybe we're going to see that again going into map 2, as we know. Different game mode. We're going into, I believe, Convergence. It's going to change up the pace. It's going to be a good time. Because anything can happen in Convergence game mode, especially on this map. You got tight corridors, second section, symbiotic surface. Maybe some peaks are going to be limited. We'll see how we go going into this one. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a good shout.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this one, and I would say you're right that this isn't over yet, and knowing what the difference between a very competent Winter Soldier player can make is absolutely terrifying. We saw last month at the end of the February tournament, 3, 4, 5 different very strong Winter Soldier players coming out, and it's not that he's an easy hero to be able to play, it's just that when you're good at Winter Soldier, you dominate on him, and it is difficult to deal with. So you're right, Archimedes definitely has the potential to bring that out. I think that we just need to be able to see the rest of Madhouse sort of start gathering around them and playing around them, making some decisions that really work in advantage for the rest of their team and for that setup for the DP.
Definitely. We're going to see it. Or will they crack under pressure?
Could do.
Okay, this is when you want to switch the momentum, right? This is when you want to switch the momentum, okay? Don't let the Franksters, if you're the Madhouse, don't let the Franksters keep the momentum. But we'll see, because right now, from those stats that I've been looking at, I think we've got to see right now is we're going to see a bit of a switch up. All right, we did see Juro on the Venom, maybe Venom on the Venom map might be the right pick. Maybe a bit of dive composition could work here rather than what we just played.
Yeah.
We're going to see some switches. We're going to see some new bands and picks. Production, are we ready to have a look at the bands and picks, perhaps? Find out what's going on?
Looks like we're getting into it shortly. Maybe a different map here, though, than what we were thinking. Right. But look, Liger, I think that while we're loading in here, we've talked about some of these teams. Let's do a bit of a shout-out to the things that keep us running here at Nemesis Productions and keep these monthly tournaments going. Liger, for those of you in chat as well, if you hit that exclamation mark donate, you can go and check out the donation link. Every little bit helps. At the moment, we are running entry fees for these tournaments, but to help us increase those funds even more, hitting that donation link can help us to be able to do that, as well as these lands that we're beginning to run as well. So please go and visit that. You can also type exclamation mark socials to be able to see our other social media channels and exclamation mark Discord to come join the OCE Marvel Rivals Discord and check out these tournaments.
I do believe the Twitter and the Instagram has been posting about a certain event later on in the month.
What event is that, Liger?
It's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time, everybody. We're going to have a fun event later in the month. It's going to be a LAN Marvel Rivals tournament at TGX. Ooh, teams are being announced.
Teams are being dropped very quickly.
Alrighty. We're going to be getting into the picks and bans now, finding out in between these two teams, in between, of course, the teams of Madhouse and Franksters. How are we going to see how the bans play out this time? Are we going to see the Captain Spider-Man bans again, starting us off? Are they that afraid of Captain America? About to find out. About to find out.
Yeah, let's have a quick look here. It's a
We
very
definitely
quick
are still
Captain
afraid
America
of the Captain
ban.
America.
Yep, instant Liger before we even got in. Cap banned, but look,
Oh, my
on the other
Captain.
side, Venom is gone as well.
Oh, Captain, my Captain.
No Captain, my
Venom
Captain.
gone as well. Okay, so the Lord Cap and the Lord Venom are out of the picture nice and early. Feels Jiro, man. That's a rough one. You got to see it, though.
That's absolutely wild. It's interesting how quickly both of these teams are trying to avoid the dive compositions coming out on the other side, and really want to be able to protect their backline, especially given the way that we saw both of the teams play last time. It's interesting to see that they really want to avoid this Cap and this Venom getting to the backline. You would think that that makes a lot of sense, but typically you want to ban away these stronger supports like what was just protected here, that Loki.
Ooh, taking out Loki. Okay, sorry, saving Loki.
Mm.
Saving Loki, that's huge value. That's huge value. We know Loki can turn almost any battle into their favor. Just copying a strategist ult, copying Lunar Snows, Dancing for the Stars, copying Cloak and Dagger, putting down the shadows.
Right here,
You're basically
made
buying a
all
team
the
another
difference.
15 seconds unchecked to just pull off any play. So it's a good predict there. Flex going to be on the Loki, starting us off. Strange is out of here, which means we're going to see Salvatore potentially on the Groot. No shield from Strange means we're going to need a bit of walls. Bit of nature. Vox maybe on the Thor to counter that, push through. Could be interesting.
I like this Groot. I like potentially the Groot thing, but it is going to be the Magneto. That does make sense, being able to bring in that shield to compensate for the lack of the Doctor Strange, and on symbiotic surface as well. Liger, very important to be able to create space for your team. There's a lot of very wide open space and a lot of time that you just have to be slowly pushing through in those big corridors. But Liger, why don't we go over towards our casters, see what they think. Jay Beto and Nukes, take it away for game number 2 between Madhouse and Frankstir Haters.
Take it away, lads.
Amazing, amazing. Once again, my name is Nukesel, and boy howdy am I joined here by Jay Beto.
Nukes, well, it's good to be back, and
5, 4, 3,
time.
2,
Same side, sorry, different sides.
You have
So
to
Frank
stop
on
them
blue
from
side,
securing the mission area.
starting out on defense.
Watch out.
Spider-Man has been let through. No Venom, but the Spider-Man trying to get active early onto this Magneto, a bit of poke. But he didn't even flinch there. He didn't even blink.
There'll be no flinching at all in this game. Because if you flinch even a little bit, that could be the loss of the map for you. And that is disastrous.
Invigorating, no.
Agree, this Loki as well, a different look than last time. It's Namor as well, very different look from both teams. Really on this map, we tend to see flyers quite a bit, but the team opting to go that, maybe the Namor
A touch of
is
healing.
a good dissuader against that. Squirrel Girl is an interesting pick for me. Squirrel Girl Spider-Man DPS lineup. How much value this is it going to be able to get? Spider-Man looking to get into the backline, but Squirrel Girl just doing some spam. Salve with an opener.
Rezzed out from the rocket just to keep their team alive. But Ahu on the Spider-Man will be getting Bubble Car here in the back. Keeping that out of tank, but Oink getting a good trade onto the support. Jiro 2 will be down. And having to come back to this fight as fast as possible. But sustaining this out, just chilling in this room is what they'll be doing.
What vile creatures Namor has summoned?
The health back to the left, Nuxel, and that is good. So far, not able to break the opening of this game. Luna finally coming back. Squirrel Girl does have ult. Combo with the rocket. Thor falling low. Vox is going to live. Spider-Man really can't get active in these fights. Groot is just too much.
Over to push out, but there's a Groot all on top as soon as you walk. Lachlan down. That was 0-2. Oink is picking up a double here. Vox falling next. And this Squirrel Girl just not being able to get the value with the Spider-Man at all. That's the defense holding. And they're going to continue that out.
Good defense so far. Another good defense, in fact. Salvatore, the admin himself, on the Groot, looking strong. Spider-Man, very hard for him to get active, Nuxel. I know for a fact. Namor is the Spider-Man killer. Loki, the first ult, changing as the Spider-Man, showing him how it's done.
Jiro 2 just absorbing and magnetizing all this damage from not only the Spider-Man, but also that Magneto. Little 1v1 there from the Spider-Man will be taking out the enemy Spider-Man. It's like that. Who's meme.
Yeah,
You know what I mean.
painting one? I know exactly what you mean.
Continuing out with the ult onto Tristan. That's a big person to fall here on the defense. Continuing it out onto the fight. Not picking up anything on with Meteor and Magneto. I mean, just chill around with his team. But they're wanting to push onto this point. Just dancing around. Fate of both worlds is getting popped from the defense. Continuing out. Archimedes, though, is able to pick out Salvatore. He was the god on that first hold and the second, but now he will be the first one to fall on this defense. It looks good here on the point for the offense. Red side are keeping the enemy in their little hidey hole now. Ticking up this point. Rocket just chilling here in the back. Ego wants a little bit of something here, but falling down to Vox instantly as soon as he pokes his head down a little bit. There'll be no overtime. There'll be a point captured, and now Kart is what will be getting looked at here as we push forward this defense, pushing them back, getting these KOs and getting themselves set up to continue out their tempo.
KOs do need to through though, Nuxel. Thor does have ult, but these KOs haven't come through yet. They need more time, they need more pressure. Luna ult out, Thor's in the back.
Now's the time to hit him.
Running down Hawkeye, looking at headshots left, right, but it's indeed the Thor. But wait, look at this! Good ult with Salvatore! It's the defense running it down, and I don't think that res is going to matter onto Giro 2. Amazing combination there with the Groot and the Namor up, down, and now they have the space to work with.
Beautiful combo and ult still in the back pocket. Nearly 4 for them was Tristan. Gets their Luna Snow ult. Spider-Man struggling to get active. What is the in here, Nuxel? Might have to be a Magneto ult, but Oink finds the opener. Magneto for Magneto trade.
Lachlan down, looking forward. Thor up, and Thor is away and hiding. But Salvatore found Giro 2. Falling another as they slowly are trying to pick up. But Vox is falling again. He can't find his footing here onto this offense, and they're just sitting in spawn, needing something to happen, but they need to make that. They need to take this into their own hands, but Ego is just chipping them down, and Salvatore is so aggressive on this Groot.
He is, and he's making so much space. Not only is he just providing the aggression, but the walls are great. He's got the ult soon. This Namor combo is good. Luna ult out to stall. Rocket ult in turn on the other side. Doesn't do enough damage.
Fate of Wealth Words had to get popped, but Vox looking oh so desperately after having queued ult. Fat finger maybe? Nah, I'm joking. But look at this, Fate of Both Worlds. There's a good reaction here onto the Groot there, but it's just not quite enough. 3 kills there for the defense, and again there's a res onto Giro 2, but it's not quite enough here. Salvatore just left, right, and center picking off this enemy. Tanks, DPS, supports, it doesn't matter. If you're Salvatore, he'll take you all by himself.
Ult still good. Loki falling down early. I mean, he's trying to get active, but the right click into the wall is good. As well. Another pick onto the Spider-Man. Oink getting aggressive with Salvatore Nuxel. Loki ult's still available.
5 seconds left here on the clock. They need to get this overtime, and they have so much further to push. Thor looking low, Thor looking dead. KO down. Ahu able to get that trade onto the Sue Storm though. That's a good pick. We've got 3 here for the offense. They need this definitely in overtime. They need to continue this out. Archimedes KOing as well. Fate of Both Worlds. Maybe a little bit late there. The ult probably wasn't quite up as quick as thought, but they're just contesting, holding it out here because they know that their team can come and potentially wipe the rest of this fight. They've got 2 ultimate abilities coming up. Overtime is just ticking, ticking, ticking. You can't get that timer back up here. Loki is just chilling back with his team. He does good damage, he does good healing, but is it enough here on this point? Another Namor combo! That's a triple kill with Salvatore! Going huge here! Rezzing Vox, Oink big! And this is what they need just to hold this out. It'll be 1-0 here on the board. And the game set match here for Frank.
Nuxel. Getting a bit ahead of yourself, my friend.
Time to switch things
That was the
up,
defense.
including the
Still need to
side.
attack.
I'm sorry, I was just so hyped up from that Namor ult. I
That
got ahead of
Namor
myself
play was
indeed.
crazy. Honestly, if I saw that too, I would just DC from the game because that's game set match for me. That's a mental breaker for sure. Right now, Salvatore and Ego have every other player locked down. They know exactly what they're going to do. These ults continue to hit. Frankstir just to have Madhouse number every fight. Look at this. The group potential swap over. No, not as of yet. I'll look up potential in this Psylocke, so it would be an interesting look. Really haven't been a fan of these flankers so far in this series, but maybe Bubbleco can tell us and show us how it's done on the other side of the defense, rolling out with the
30 seconds
Spider-Man.
before you attack. Get
I'm not a
ready.
fan. I haven't been a fan so far of this Spider-Man. I'm going to be honest. Archimedes back on the Scarlet Witch, not my favorite DPS, even though the team up is great. And they've got the Rocket, plus this Punisher. But Nuxel, again, one good support ult. Luna Snow, the only one available with that.
The battle starts
3
in
seconds
5,
on the clock, the gate's
4,
opening, and the
3,
round begins.
2, 1.
Can the
better-
defense hold?
It seems like there's not a lot of DPS that are in favor of you, but let them cook, as they say. This isn't over. They've got the defense here, and 3 minutes 45 to work with.
Approaching slowly. Spider-Man in the back. Maybe a bit out of position. Namor damage is good. He's hiding. You got to find a health pack down there. He lives, but he's separated from his team. It's going to be a while before he's able to get back. The Rocket Res on defense is good, Nuxel. Very strong, but if you're able to pick him off first, then that can't be available anymore. Namor just poking, looking for an angle. Understand the defense, trying to hit Magneto, doesn't get the memo. He is getting hit.
Look how
Ruthless
much damage
Magneto, and he
this Namor's
falls.
doing. And we see that Ego is the one that first opens up with 2 KOs after Ahu. It was a trade, but it just doesn't quite matter here. Salvatore next. Vox is down. The defense are looking weak here on this point, but there's still 4 people up after that Rocket Res. Oh no, sorry, that is the offense here on the point, and that is the offense they're taking. Defense have fallen back and given this up now, and they need to set up for this next choke.
I'm good to go.
Minnesota does find this Luna, but Salvatore on this Groot is getting aggressive, finds the trade back onto the Punisher, finds 2 onto the Spider-Man Nuxel, and he's looking for more.
Salvatore clicking bodies, clicking heads, getting KOs, and look how much space that this Groot is making. Tristan there onto the Raccoon. Rocket is down. No more life left for them, and they're using the walls to deny any more space for this defense to walk up to this cart. We're halfway here, and 44 minutes to go, but it doesn't quite matter here. 2 KOs, and there's a Loki on the Groot as well. There's so much happening here for the offense, and nothing for the defense at all. There's no contestation on this point. They're just pushing up this cart without issue. And now, as I said before, I'll say it again with more confidence. That is game, set, match. Your game 1 win is here in round 1.
1.
Looking absolutely dominant is Sal on the Groot. Tank combo.
Another epic
Very, very
victory.
strong combo within the Maw.
Win.
Maybe even better. Terrifying truth is that these guys will be back. Another team has to face them. What is your answer to what you just saw? To ban these tanks out, maybe to play around. My gamble would be, oof, I don't know. Some of these picks, I think that I like the ideas behind some of them. The Punisher with the Rocket, the Spider-Man. The Spider-Man damage was high, but at the end of the day, damage numbers don't really tell you the story. At the end of the day, it's if you fall down, if you die, if you get KO'd, I should say. And that's going to be the team fight. If you do a lot of damage, but the healing is coming through, that's just free ult charge for the other team. And I think Spider-Man ult is nowhere near as much value as the Luna and the Loki as well. But a good look, a really good look from the boys over at Frank.
And you mentioned a point there with the story there before, and I'd like to question, and I'd like to know, what is the story of the other team? What like, they have the Spider-Man players, they had the magic in the first game, and it was triple DPS a lot of the time. So do they have a lot of star players and they just wanted to use that to their advantage? But maybe it's just that bunkering down with the Magneto and the Groot there, especially in just that last game that we saw. It just overwhelmed them. I don't think that they really knew what to do in the aspect of like positioning and things like that. Like Groot was just denying vision with the walls, denying fallback opportunities with the walls, and the Magneto bubbles were crucial for their team to stay afloat here. And Frank just had that better showing, had that better composition, and made it work best for themselves. But